Whatever you want.
We're live, fellas. Hey, everybody, mic up.
Y'all doing the live. Oh, okay. All right. No stuttering.
It's been trial and error trying to get this figured out on how we're going to do it and everything. And this is the best. This is the best method so far.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one that you said you saw was bootleg, dude. I was using my phone.
I know. I thought so. I think it's working. I don't know. It's all right.
And the sound was glitchy, so I think we're getting everything picked up now.
Okay.
I think you see the levels moving on that, Andy, on the bottom.
Yeah.
They are moving.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Does anything look like it's doing something?
Check.
Oh yeah, it's working. Okay, we're just too quiet.
Okay,
right.
That's what it was.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, that's weird. That's never been associated with me before. Quiet. That's weird.
We were just talking the other day, like when you were teaching classes at MTF.
Oh yeah.
You made those boring ass classes that we all had to go to every year, like enjoyable. You know, just because your personality. So,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I think it's the fear of talking in front of everybody that locks people up.
Yeah.
Right?
It is. It can be stressful, you know, because it's you feel vulnerable when you're up there because everybody's, you know, it's just you looking out, but then you have between 15 and 30 people staring at you, and then if the material is boring, now they're starting to pick you apart. They're looking at your hair. Looking at, you know, did he shave today? What's up with his uniform? So it's really stressful after a while.
You know, I would always tease Dossie and say that MTF was JV.
I mean,
to the detachment.
It's kind of true.
If you think about it, though, whenever you guys were teaching classes, you were teaching to a larger audience than what we would teach, because at the most we would have 4 to a class.
Right. Yeah, that's all I ever.
Yeah.
4 was the most.
So
I think we maxed out at 30. I want to say 30 for MRT. MOT.
Remember my first super fan class I taught? That I actually did my teach back. There was a lieutenant colonel in there, and I was like, "Oh, this is a pin. You pull it out, you put it. You know, you make sure that." And then finally, like Hyman come in, and he's like, "Just go on a break." And he takes me out. He goes, "Loosen up, man."
Yeah.
He put his pants on the same way you do in the morning.
Hyman told you to loosen up. Now you must have been stiff. You must have been stiff for him to tell you to loosen up. He's pretty stiff himself.
I was butchering that next. There's an officer in the room and I'm shaking up there. And they're like, just teach, man. You know the stuff. Just talk about it.
Yeah. Nah, it's just fun. It really just comes down to it. It's just fun.
Yeah, you get nervous, man. You just gotta learn how to relax. What I like to do is sometimes I'll pick somebody out. Just kind of look at them, kind of make them look away. Play the look away game.
Yeah.
I made you look away, and then just keep talking, man. After a while, you forget that you're doing a lecture or you're talking to people. So, but hey, thanks for coming on the show, Angel.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
I really appreciate you coming on, dude. Like we were talking about earlier, man. I just want everybody to know a little bit about Angel Rodriguez, what he does.
Sure.
You know, I know you're in the Air Force, aren't you?
Yeah, I am still. I'm coming up on my 19th year active duty Air Force.
Nice.
So I will be retired by next year, man. 20 years. You're old. Johnny's old.
Hey, you're gonna love retirement, man.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. Just growing a beard. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's the small things.
Yes,
but I'm a little concerned though about having to decide what I'm going to wear to work. That's a little intimidating. You know what I mean? Because right now I just wake up and I'm going to put that on. It's right there.
Me and Andy talked about that. At probably my 6-month mark, I actually missed putting it on, man.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious. There's something weird about it. It's like you don't realize it. I mean, because we're military, man. That's what we do every day. Like you said, we put that uniform on. Yeah, I just at the 6-month mark, man, I was actually missing wearing that uniform, man.
I balled that thing up, threw it in the closet. I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody's different, but I did. I missed it. I missed it.
I might miss wearing the ABUs.
Yeah.
I'll never miss wearing the blues. No, man.
I loved blues, dude. I look sexy in blues.
Nah, man.
It's Monday.
You know, some of my close friends are in the Marines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they look sharp.
Oh, dude, their uniforms are.
So when I stand next to them, I look like the dude. I'm like, all right, where am I driving you guys to? You know what I mean? That's what I look like.
Hey, the Greyhound's here.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not
this way, guys, look at you. Where you gotta go? It's so embarrassing, man. But okay. So a little bit about myself, I guess. Introduce myself. Angel Rodriguez, active duty Air Force, technical sergeant. Angel Rodriguez. Right now, my main job is I do computers. I manage the e-tool program. So I'm responsible for maintaining the digital TOs, the laptops, and the iPads that we view them on. On top of that, I manage one server, a database. I manage another server specifically for the digital TOs as well. And then I do a bunch of customer-related support across the maintenance group. So I have in total a little under 2,000 computers that I maintain and over 500 iPads.
It's pretty big because without the TOs updated, maintenance stopped.
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those jobs. I mean, we have a lot of those in the Air Force where if I'm doing my job, it looks like I'm doing nothing because everything works.
Yeah.
Right. And then as soon as something goes wrong, it looks like I haven't been doing my job at all. It's lose-lose. But it's funny because that's true. You have to have the right technical data before you can perform maintenance. So it is important. And I found out really quick just how important it is when my server went down and we didn't have access to anything. And it was all, I mean, it may have been my fault. I may have deleted something by accident.
You became the most popular man on
yeah. Everybody knew who I was at that point. You know what I mean?
So were you able to coordinate with COM and get that back?
No, I had to fix it myself. Oh. Yeah, it's my own server. I manage it myself, so I had to build it.
What is this COM you speak of?
Well, all right. Let me they deal with the different side. It's a different side. So it's like a completely different system that's specific for maintenance. So and they have a whole bunch of other stuff to worry about. So I got you guys. So that's what it is.
Honors.
But yeah, so that's what I do.
What's your real FSC? What do you do?
2A671 Gulf, which is a jet engine mechanic for aerospace propulsion of craftsman. Yes, sir. It's been a minute. But yeah, that's my main job is jets.
Okay,
that's my real job. But I'm more of a computer guy than anything. Now I'm the top com guy for the maintenance group right now.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's high level nerd shit is what I said.
Yeah.
Can we curse? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been at Dias your entire career?
Just about. So I got here in January of 2000, and I didn't leave until December of 2012. I went to Korea for 27 months.
Sucking rubber all the time?
Actually, it was every month. Every month for the first year. So I was out there for 27 months, and then I was diverted back to Dias. I've been here for a little over 3 years now, and this October I'll be going back to Korea.
When you were in Korea, were you playing jet troop? Go back to your FSC?
Let me explain what happened there. So I show up, and there's a chief, right, and he had been getting in these tech sergeants who all came from bomber bases. So what he needed were tech sergeants who had experience on 16s and A-10s.
Okay.
I was not a tech sergeant with 16 or A-10 experience. And he made it very clear to me how disappointed he was in me showing up without experience for F-15 or F-16s and A-10s. So basically, I literally sat in the break room for about a week.
Yeah. Just
asking, what can I do? And he was like, just do something. And I'm like, yo, this chief really don't like me. It wasn't personal. He just was pissed off, right? So then finally he looked at my records and he found out that I had my A+ certification. Mm-hmm. So as soon as he found that out, they threw me over to QA so that I could work on the computers, the eTool program. And then that's when I got into implementing iPads in the system. And now I have my Sec Plus, and that's all I do now. So people see my coding.
Yes.
And that's it. So it's pretty good. That's actually why I got diverted back to Dias. So I was supposed to go to New Mexico. Is it Holloman? Mm-hmm. Is that I think that's the base, Holloman, New Mexico.
Better than Clovis.
Yeah. So I
heard Clovis is actually getting better because they have AFSOC there now.
Yeah, they got that spec out money now.
Yep. But so you didn't play jet troop when you went to Korea?
No, I thought I was. I was there in I think the 36th AMU. I think I was supposed to do. Yeah. I was there. I was ready to go. I was fired up. I was like, "Let's go, guys!" The chief crushed me. It's like, I don't need you. You know, knife hand and shit. I was like, I just got here. I don't need you. Oh, shit, chief.
A jet engine's a jet engine, right? I mean.
Well, yeah, but there's nuance. So it's like the B1 engine, but opposite. And then some of the theories. So the B1 is all fly-by-wire. Mm-hmm. So there are some throttle cables. So having to understand how to rig those and set that up. And then the troubleshooting. So how the engine operates and it shuts down, and in regards to troubleshooting, is actually very different. It is for the B1. So that's why he was really pissed off, because I couldn't hit the ground and start running. Mm-hmm. So,
but you know what? Okay. I almost had the same thing happen to me at my 15-year mark. I was supposed to go over to the 130 side.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, 15 years, you know, being on the bomber and then all of a sudden going to the 130s.
Yeah.
Dude, I was nervous. Luckily, my assignment got changed and I stayed with the bombers. But
that would have been rough.
I could only imagine you trying to learn these little baby birds from that bomber. It's probably night and day difference, dude.
No, that would have been that would have been rough. Do you think that people would have been looking at you like, yo, this is a tech but doesn't know anything?
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah,
you know?
Oh man.
That happens. We got a lot of people in the crew chief section right before I went off the line in 09 that came in from different airframes, and they got here and they were like, what is this? And then they didn't want to. There was a few people just did not want to learn, and so they found their way into like office jobs and you know what I mean. And that was, they didn't want to come here. It wasn't. They got forced here, and then I look at it like it's a different experience. It's something, if you have the opportunity to learn something new, then go for it. But yeah, we looked at them people like that. Them people.
But you know, you got some that were there and they wanted to learn, and that was awesome.
Sure.
You know, so when that happens.
I remember Jack Thomas. Do you know Jack Thomas?
I don't think so.
He come off of B-52s and he got there and he just hated the B-1, hated it and hated it, but he stuck with it, you know.
And he worked it.
And he worked it. And
There's a big difference actually going. The first time I saw a B-52, shit, I don't even remember what base I was at because I was there TDY for something else. But I saw a B-52 and it's all fly-by-wire. It's like, what is it? Made in the 50s? Something like that. So imagine going from that and now you got this big electronic. Basically, the B-1's like a big computer.
Yep.
You know, it's not that simple. I mean, it's after a while you're like, oh, this is not that complicated, but it takes a while to learn her. When I first got to Dias, let me tell you why. First time I get to Dias, right? They take me to the phase dock, right? It's Sergeant Miguel Tellez. I don't know if you remember him, Tellez. So he takes me to the phase dock, and you know, had that thick accent. He's like, okay, papi, this is what we're gonna do. You know, we're gonna learn how to do this, and he's gonna look at this. And I'm like, all right, no problem. I got this. You know what I'm saying? I came from tech school. I'm one of those guys, high speed, low drag. I was like, I got this shit, right? So I go in there and I'm like, what? And I see this jet. And I'm like, what? All right. So I'm looking and I'm like, this shit is huge. And he's like, yeah, we have 4 engines. I'm like, motherfucker, 4 engines. And then he was like, on top of that, we got all these gearboxes. Oh, and then there's APU in the middle. And in my head, I start panicking. I'm like, oh shit, man, they're going to kick me out. I don't think I'm smart enough. I'm not going to make this. I'm not going to make it. It is what it is. Turned out pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. At first, man, it's so intimidating, man.
Oh, shit.
Try marshaling one out for the first time, dude. I was terrified, man.
Which way do I?
You get retarded. You forget left from right. You're all, oh god. Yeah, you got this $300 million bomber. Well, at the time, it was probably like $200 million coming at you, and you're like, man, what do I do? Is he listening to me? Am I turning him too early? Is his wing gonna clip the other plane? Yeah, you got all this stuff going in your mind. So yeah, I can relate, brother.
Oh my god.
I can relate with the being intimidated to see a thing for the first time.
But where else can you at 18 years old be, you know, like you be entrusted with doing your job? You know, obviously, you know, you're supervised, but you know, after a while, I mean, young, you know,
they put a lot of responsibility on these young cats, man.
It's crazy.
That's very true. That's very true. That's why I always say life in the military is fast. You grow fast, you know.
Speaking of, have you thought of those 19 years just went by like that?
You know, it's funny. I would hear those old timers, which is funny because we're old timers now. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of weird to say that, but I would hear them say that. They were like, hey, you know, enjoy the time.
Yeah.
No rush. It's going to go by in a blink of an eye. I'm like, listen here, Grandpa. All right. 20 years is a long time. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, oh my God, they were right. They were right, dude. They were right. I'm trying to remember it. I'm like, wow, you do so much stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much. Like you forget more than you remember because you've done so much. You know?
Oh yeah. I
don't know.
One of the biggest things that this podcast is just us practicing and talking and kind of brainstorming has brought back a lot of things that I forgot, a lot of stories and a lot of memories, you know, of the past, like TDYs and deployments and stuff. And so you think back and like, wow, a lot of stuff has happened in these years, you know. It's pretty cool. It's definitely a ride.
Yeah. So no regrets?
No, not at all.
That's good.
Not at all. I'm glad I'm out. No regrets. No, it was good. It was good. It was good for me. You know, because I didn't know what I was going to do after high school. So
yeah, that's true. I wonder if a lot of people are like. Do you have any regrets?
None at all, sir.
Really? Wow.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it, and I was ready to get out at 20. Yeah.
That's good.
I was ready to get out. I mean, I deployed a lot. You know, for being on the B1, I was a high time deployer, man. I deployed a lot, and it runs its toll on you, family wise too. But yeah, it's a lot of commitment and everything. I wanted to do those deployments. I wanted to do it, but after a while, man, it wears on you. I needed a break, and 20 was there. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get out. Have something lined up, Angel. What do you got lined up after this, dude?
Well, you know, so first off, I was focused on getting those certs.
Yeah.
So I have the computer training and experience since 2009 doing computers. But what I'm doing right now is I'm chasing a passion. So I do a lot of streaming, motivational speaking. I travel to different conventions. And how that actually got started was because I started back in 2008 as a competitor.
Okay.
In this tournament called the Ironman of Gaming. And it was a grueling. So when you think about it, you're like, oh man, this guy's playing video games in the tournament. It's like a couple hours, maybe whatever. Nah, son, it was like 4 days, 12 hours per day, and we were competing for a grand prize of 10 grand. Like,
wow.
Yeah, this is serious. So, and it was across 10 different. So we had to compete in 10 different games, but it was across different genres and different consoles. Ooh. So it was tough. It was grueling. So, you know, I trained for a few weeks trying to get ready for it. And I was training alone because it's really difficult to find dudes in the military. Be like, hey, man, I'm going to go to this video game tournament. You want to train?
Dude, you know what? Back then, people would probably thought that was funny. But the evolution of gaming now, it's incredible, dude.
That's actually a good point. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would have went back to me a long time ago, Angel, and I probably would have been like, you know what? Yeah, I want to try, but I gotta work, dude.
Yeah.
You know? It's just video games. I don't know what I mean. It's entertainment, but it's evolved, man.
Yeah.
And I think you're on the forefront of that, dude.
It seems to be because what allows me to be successful in that space is that I'm very good at expressing how video games, the skills that you develop in video games relate to the real world, and how real world skills can actually translate over to success in video games. So for instance, changing parts as a mechanic, I was okay, but I didn't really like getting dirty. So I was a guy who would wear all the PPE, so I didn't get dirty.
I like your honesty.
Yeah. I'm just being real. So I'd be all gloved up. So everything took me longer than everyone else to change the parts. But when it came to troubleshooting, I was nasty. I loved troubleshooting, the puzzle that was there. And I firmly believe that my skills in troubleshooting the B1, reading schematics, and figuring out the root cause of a problem was because of video games. And playing the old school video games where there wasn't much information. You actually had to figure it out, test things out, and always going into a problem or approaching a problem with the idea that there is a solution. I just need to find it.
Yeah.
Because in a video game, there is a solution because somebody programmed it.
Yeah, you look for certain patterns, dude.
In real life, I'm like, well, somebody made this. It was working before it broke. So
I like it.
Solution.
I like that, dude.
That's a good approach.
Yeah. That is a very good approach.
So what game, when did that start? Like what?
Killer Instinct.
Killer.
Yeah. It's a good story. Allow me to tell. Allow me to share my story, ladies and gentlemen. So, Killer Instinct was a video game that I used to play a lot when I was in high school, mainly because it was the only one I could afford. Right. And then when I would go to the arcades, it was the only one that was a quarter still, and it was by itself. No one would play it, so I could play it all the time. You know, I played Street Fighter, but
that's my game right there, son.
It was like a 50-50 shot I would lose that money, you know what I mean? But on Killer Instinct, I was like, oh, I can figure it out. Anyway, so when I got it for Super Nintendo, I just kept playing it because that's all I had at the time. So I go to this tournament, and that's one of the first fighting games there, is Killer Instinct. So I get there, and I'm playing with some of the guys, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm doing pretty good. And there was a guy there. His name is Destin. He used to be a part of the Screw Attack crew. He had his own show called Daily Destin. or I'm sorry, Hard News, and they referred to him as Daily Destiny. He works for IGN. The point is, he was the best person on the squad in Killer Instinct at the time, right? So I go over there. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I was kind of fanboying because I saw his show before. I was like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? I whooped his ass, right? I body bested, bodied him. So then they were like, oh, this kid's kind of good. He's pretty good. But as we went through the competition, I think there was, through the entire tournament, I only lost one match through the whole thing, and it was the best of 3. So I only lost one match, but then I came back in dominant fashion. And then when I got to the championship round, I just dominated the competitors. So, but it wasn't just the victory that started everything. It was how I did things. And I'm not a stereotypical gamer per se, or a stereotypical nerd. You know, because I'm loud, I'm boisterous. It's easy for me to interact with people. And I'm good at the video game. So as we were competing, I'm yelling, I'm doing these great combos, I'm high-fiving people. So people were getting hyped behind me. And so wherever I went, the crowd just came with me. So at the end, there were other people doing things, but the crowd was behind me. You would have thought it was like you
were like that badass at the casino with all the money, dude.
Yes.
Yes,
that was me.
That's how I'm picturing it.
That is.
Look at that guy. He just wanted to come on the podcast.
Why are you trying to steal attention right here? But yeah, so that's what it was. So I generated all this attention, and then when I won, the place just exploded.
That is awesome.
It was out of control. So then the owner of the company at the time, which was Craig, he was like, hey man, we gotta do something. Craig and Chad were both like, hey, we got to do something with this guy, and that's how it started. So they would take me to different events. I would do different media with them, and just blew up from there.
Yeah, because I was looking at your social media, man, and I see you at all these different events. You're up in Dallas, you know, and you're speaking. I'm like, what is Angel doing? I'm like, what is he doing? What are you doing up there when you're on stage? What are you doing? You're promoting a game? Are you?
All the above, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So in the beginning, it was hype man is a majority of what I would do. So wherever I went, my job was essentially to create excitement and to ensure that everyone who was there was having a great time.
Okay.
And then that steadily evolved because I started, since I had the ability to interact with people, I was able to understand people, you know, on the autistic spectrum. So like people with Asperger's syndrome. So a lot of them will have the same skill set, speech patterns as somebody who plays video games all the time and doesn't have social skills. So that was me. So it's very easy for me to understand where they were coming from. So I was able to have these conversations with people, young, old, and I was able to relate. So coming from a background of being a nerd who was picked on, and I was able to relate with the younger crowd, and then being active duty military, having gone to combat, I was able to relate to older people, and then that's what it blew up from there. So I generate hype, excitement, promote games, promote whatever it is that I need to promote. And then I also do motivational speaking where I would tell and explain why it's okay to accept being a gamer. And here's how it applies in the real world, despite what people say.
That's awesome.
That's what I do right now.
That is way awesome.
It's pretty. It's kind of high level nerd shit, I guess. I don't know, man. It's pretty cool.
That's cool, man. See, I knew there was something behind it, Angel.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you on, man. I knew there was something interesting behind the man.
Yeah, I'm trying to be the guy that I needed when I was growing up.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I get to play video games. I mean,
hey,
it's a good time.
Are you going to pursue this when you get out, man?
I want to. I really do. So like streaming on Twitch is fun, but that's too limiting. So like I enjoy the entertainment, and I enjoy the feedback, but I excel when I'm in the convention space, when I'm around the people, so that I can feel the energy and I can see. And in this way too, I can figure out what it is that they need from me, so that I can provide it as I'm doing whatever it is. So I like the Twitch. Is fun because I do Twitch and Mixer, but streaming is fun. And I'm trying to segue that into where I can reach out and interact with more people. So this July, I think it's the weekend of the 1st, or June, I'm sorry, June 1st, 2nd, and I think the 3rd. I can't remember, but there's a convention called DreamHack that I'm going to be going to. So I'm going to be working with streamers there. I'm going to try and pick up a lot of information and see where it goes from there.
Now, do these guys are your trips funded, or do you pay for them yourself, or are you sponsored? You know, how does that work?
It depends on the organization that I'm working with. Usually they'll pay for if I have to fly somewhere. I normally pay for the flight. They often pay for the hotel, food, and then usually I'll get free swag. So whether it be
sponsored, you're sponsored. Just say it.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They take care of me. Yes. You know, it's pretty cool. That's
awesome, man.
Random story. That's actually how I got to Japan. So
really?
yeah, because I joined the Air Force to get to Japan. I saw a lot of Texas, but through gaming, the company Screw Attack, that's how I ended up going to Japan. I ended up, they took me to the Tokyo Game Show, and all I had to do was try Japanese foods, compete against the Japanese.
How'd you do against them?
I got demolished.
Yeah?
Yo, it was
another level, huh?
Terrible. And I'm like, who's kicking my ass? I look over, there's some old dude, a cigarette, just chilling on his lip, no emotion. I'm like, oh! He's like, yeah. Are you kidding me, man? Killers.
Another level, huh?
Killers. Yeah, but the culture is different. Like you can go on a date out, take a date to the arcade, and it's acceptable, Here in the States,
you do that here, you just won't see her again.
I know, right? Like, hey, let's go play some video games. Oh, that's funny. Not all nerds sound like that, whatever. That's cool. Somebody gonna be watching like, I don't sound like that.
You know what? I think I remember when I was younger and I watched the Revenge of the Nerds and all that stuff. Dude, nerds rule the world now, man.
It's true.
You think about it.
Microsoft. Yeah, it's true.
Everybody that's tech savvy, that's a nerd. I mean, look at these things. If it wasn't for the nerds, and everybody has a damn cell phone in their pocket, right?
And everybody's playing some stupid game on it.
Yeah, that is true. Right? Mobile gaming.
What do you think about mobile gaming, dude?
Yeah, so I like it quite a bit. I guess pros and cons. One, I like it because it brings people together, regardless of demographic. So everybody could talk about Candy Crush. Everybody has a Candy Crush story. Yeah. So it allows people to connect in ways that they may not have. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, though, I'm concerned about the quality of the product. So some people might see a mobile game who may not know about other video games and just assume that this is the representation of what video games are, or they may look at the simplicity and the uselessness of some of these mobile games, and they may think that this is the standard for the industry, which it's not. I'm a little concerned about that. Or when parents just give their kids a mobile game and then that kind of bothers me too.
What's your preferred platform right now? What are you gaming on? PlayStation, Xbox?
PlayStation 4. This generation is PS4, man.
Dude, we're an Xbox house right
now. if I show with a black eye, you guys know what happened.
Dude, I stopped at the PS2 is the last PlayStation system I had.
Which was probably the best. Yeah, PS2 was amazing.
Yeah.
PS3 was doo-doo. And the PS4 came in and was just, I don't know, man.
Have you gamed on an Xbox? Do you like the Xbox?
I do. So what drew me to the Xbox was that at the time, they had amazing exclusives. Halo was amazing. So then it was just, and first person shooting was better on Xbox 360.
Okay.
It was just a better overall system. Well, then you roll over to the PS4 era. I did it for exclusives. So I enjoyed it for the exclusives. And then when they changed the controller, first person shooting on the PS4 was very similar, if not better.
So it got better, yeah.
So I just I stuck with it. And then because of all the exclusives, it turned out that just the PS4 turns out to be that's where the majority of the people were playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I was more comfortable with the PS2 controller than I was Xbox. Xbox thought I felt like I had this.
Yeah, that's what I liked, man. It's like, yo, can I get this dish?
but I don't play very many video games, but I have an Xbox One, and the controllers, I don't know, they just over time technology and the ergonomics, it just fits your hand better, you know. And
the Xbox is pretty legit though.
My hand-eye coordination is not
good.
No,
I use it's good for training too. I think playing video games and absolutely. And some of the dance games are really good too. The cardio, real talk. Because I used to compete in martial arts tournaments. And I used to train as doing MMA. Train MMA. But you know what I used to do for some cardio training at home? Yo, I would be playing Dance Dance Revolution, like in the hardest setting.
I would take the kids over there to the mall and the arcade over there. And yeah, Jaden and his sister, Kinley, they jump on that thing, dude, sweating, and just enjoying it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good exercise.
It's good, great cardio, man.
It's great, man. So I was like, I mean, I took it to the next level though. Like,
it's Guitar Hero with your feet, is what.
Yeah,
that's when I was watching them, but I was like, that's Guitar Hero, but with your feet.
Yeah, that's actually it. And it's good. It's legit. So I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's kind of weird though. You know, my ex-wife would come home sometimes, and she'd hear the music blast, and she's like, oh, okay, he's doing Dance Dance. And then she comes in, and I'm in there naked, just fucking doing Dance Dance Revolution. So like, whatever. It's a good set right there. Bro. This is what it is.
So, what do you think will be probably the biggest skill or experience that you've had from the military that you will carry with you in your future endeavors that will always be, I guess, maybe a catalyst in helping you pursue things in your new?
I really believe that it's the confidence to find a solution that you get from the military that's going to go with me everywhere. Yeah. So, because I distinctly remember before joining the service, I would be afraid to make decisions. I would be afraid to be wrong. I would be afraid to fail. And in the service, you do fail. You do make mistakes. You're held accountable for them, but then you're also expected to be better.
Yeah.
So now, in any endeavor that I do now, whether it be the Twitch or anything that I do, I go in there with the confidence that I may not always know the answer, but I'll figure out a solution. And that's from the military.
That's good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, making mistakes, that's how we learn, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Got to make those mistakes.
Yeah,
gotta try. You got to try.
Yeah, it's man, that's a good question. That's a good one.
Yeah, because there's so many things, core values or discipline, and because there's a lot of people who, I had a troop one time that he grew up in a household that they didn't clean. They weren't clean people, and so going into the military, going to basic training, having that structure, it taught him, it taught him how to clean. It taught him how, and so that's probably something simple for him, but there's the lifestyle. That's why I said it was good for me, because not that I was wild or anything like that, but I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. So having the military, the structure to kind of point me in the right direction, and it did nothing but open doors from there, so.
What about
you? But that's a unique answer.
Mine?
Yeah. That's good.
That's because I failed a lot.
I think, dude, the military makes you grow up. It makes you grow up fast, because if you don't, man, you're just gonna get left behind. You get kicked out, something, right?
Yeah,
so, man, everything I pulled from the service, dude, I'm glad I did it. It made me grow up, So, yeah, that's the way I look at it, dude.
Let me tell you my first memory of him. He probably doesn't even remember. So, it's when you were working at the 9th Bomb Squadron. I remember I was traveling around with the guys. It was Juan Rosales, and then I think Hoppy was in the bread truck, whatever. I don't know who else, but we're driving around, and they were like, "Yo, man, we're gonna go to the 9th. They're doing things over there." I'm like, "Whatever." But I was a young kid, so I was like, "Yeah, let's go, sir. We got this. I got you." Turns out you guys were doing the boxing.
So we had fight clubs, dude.
I walk in there, I'm like, "These suckers are fighting." So I'm like, "Let's go." I'm hyped, right? So then all of a sudden, he comes in, and like everybody gets quiet, and there was some master sergeant. Apparently, turned out he was the badass. Johnny was the badass, right? So I'm like, "What? Who's that guy?" Everybody's like, "Yo, that's good." I'm like, "What?" And there was some master sergeant who was over there. Was like, "If you ever need to practice, you can use my face." So then I was like, "Holy shit! If that master is like that for him. He must be nasty. I was like, I hope I never fight him. That's the first time I met. You probably didn't remember that.
You know what?
Whipping up on some kid. Man.
A lot of that is a blur to me, man. Honestly, yeah. Like before 9/11.
Yeah.
Like after 9/11, I remember everything. Before then, it's hard for me to remember some of that stuff, man. I don't know.
Is that when you took anthrax?
You know, they're saying there's some issues with the anthrax, dude.
I noticed the difference after.
Really?
I almost completed the set. Yeah, I noticed.
I have a permanent knot on the back of my arm right here. It's always been there ever since those anthrax, but I've never noticed it. But there's a knot right there, and it's from that. It's from those series of shots. The VAs came out and said that there was a bad batch that was shot up at Dias.
Oh
yeah. Probably in your time frame. You were probably there when you got stuck. You know, we all got stuck around the same time.
That is something I would tell you, man. In this next year, as you plan your transition, don't delay on the VA stuff. They'll allow you to start submitting your claim and everything early. And so I would take this next year, and if you got anything that needs fixed or looked at,
fix it.
Get it in there.
To the hospital.
Like my shoulder hurts, man.
Get it in there.
Fix.
Get it in there.
Yeah.
Because within the first year of you being out, you can claim anything. And so, you know, it's not. You get a service-connected disability, it's a little extra cash in your pocket, but dude, they beat you up.
No, they do.
The military.
You earned it too.
Yeah,
look at it that way. You earned it.
Sacrifice.
You earned it. I mean, you got those guys that are going to be faking injuries and stuff like that. And that kind of pisses me off when you know they're really not hurt. But when you got some guys that are generally hurt, they can use that disability.
But the idea behind it, like, you know, I think I had 10 things that I submitted, and I only got rated on 2 of them. But even though I got 0, it's still a service-connected disability. But I can be seen at the VA for those things for free. So that's where it benefits you. Yeah, is, you know, if you want to go to the VA and get killed. So, but really though, that, you know, you earned it. Like Johnny said,
you earned that, man.
That'd be my advice to you, man.
Well, I'm going to be all over it. My goal is to make sure I take care of myself so I can last at least another 20 years. You know.
Well, dude, later on, offline, if you want to pick my brain about the things I think you should do before you get out, man, I'll give you some pointers.
I will, brother. I will. I'm trying to have a good life when I retire. Yeah, man. Take care of my grandma. That's my plan right now, is to come back and then try and find a job that'll put me in the area where I can take care of my grandma, because she'll be 86 when I retire.
Where's the area? Where do you want to go back to?
Florida. Okay. Yeah. So it should be good. There are a lot of jobs out there, and, you know, whatever will allow me to take care of my grandma. That's what it is. Awesome. That's my plan right now. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get her streaming. That's what it is. Grandma, stream! Let's go!
Grandma gamer.
That actually would be hilarious. 86-year-old playing Street Fighter, just first time in school. That's my grandma! Well, it is what it is, man. This is fun, man. This is nice.
Cool, right?
Yeah, this is nice. What made you think we should do this? We should make a podcast. Like, how did that come about? It seemed kind of random.
It is.
It is. Actually, man, I started watching a bunch of podcasts. Rogan, Jocko Willink. I don't know if you watch any of those guys.
Rogan, yeah.
Yeah. And just some of the information you learn from those podcasts, you're like, wow, because they'll have some interesting guests on there. And it was another, me and Andy talked about it. It's another way to get information. You know, I'm not a big book reader. Yeah. You know, and it's entertaining. It's better than, there's no commercial breaks.
Oh, sorry.
What the hell?
Sorry. It's because, you know, I gotta go.
And for the most part, the information is raw. You know, it's unedited. And and there's no you know, well, I'm sure you can find podcasts, but there's no set agenda, you know. There's nothing behind it on the stuff that I listen to. So he just asked me, he's like, let's do this, and I was like,
so it's kind of like you guys are just, so it's kind of, you guys are just having a conversation, and then the viewers are going to feel like they're just part of it. Yeah,
it's like they're just sitting on the other end of this bar.
Like the first episode, literally, that's all we did. We just start talking, and it just
roll from there.
Yeah.
So we're videotaping conversation, really, you know. And
I like that, because it's funny you say that, because I do read a lot. I read at least one book a month.
Good.
At least one book a month. But a lot of information, though, even though I read that much, a lot of the stuff I retain is stuff that comes from somebody.
Yeah.
Because you can attach it to an emotion or their experience, and then it kind of validates the information that you're being given.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. I love Joe Rogan, man. His podcast is. I got to meet him in LAX, man.
Get out of here.
Yeah. He wears huge glasses. I was very surprised. I was like, bro, he's reading thoughts right now.
Was he cool?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was real early, so I just went up there, spoke to him real quick.
Yeah.
He was very approachable, real chill. And I told him, I was like, man, keep doing what you're doing. Love the podcast. And I was like, thank you for doing the episode talking about going bald. I was like, it helped me because my daughter was hurting my feelings. So I just shaved it off.
I just call it the Jason Statham, dude.
The Jason
Statham, man. Yeah. You know how all the ladies love Jason Statham, dude.
Yeah, he's out of control these days. He's like, Roy, yeah. Bro, put your shirt back. No, take it off. It's okay. You can leave it off. Whatever.
Hey, I'm glad you came on. I know you're a little bit short on time, dude. But is there anything you want to plug before we say goodbye?
Yeah, sure. If you guys are ever free, you want to watch some great gameplay by a great gamer who's incredibly entertaining, go over to twitch.tv/the Director of Awesome, or if you're on Xbox, go to mixer.com/Director of Awesome and come support the stream. Come hang out and we'll chit chat for a minute.
Awesome, dude.
Right,
Thank you, man. I had a great time. Thank you so much, man. This was legit. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll see you guys again.
We're out.